What up, guys? It is Makoa Goble here with LowKickMMA, and today I'm joined by Matt, the Steamrolla Frevola. Matt, how you doing today, man?
I'm doing good, bro. Just having a nice Labor Day weekend, training hard, feeling good.
Nice. So let's get right into things. You've got a big fight coming up at UFC 281 against Ottman Azaitar. How has your training camp been so far?
It's going good. I've been staying busy. The whole team has been busy this whole year, and I'm in the gym. I'm sparring all these guys with Contender Series fights coming up, staying busy and feeling good.
Nice. Is there anything you're focusing on in particular, or are you just looking to become a better, well-rounded mixed martial artist?
Yeah, that's always what it's all about. I'm always trying to level up on every aspect of fighting, whether it's the ground, the stand up, the wrestling, and
Yeah.
I love it all. So it's always just working on everything.
Is there anything that stands out to you that you do and you're like, man, I really love doing this? Like any type of training, anything in particular that just really reminds you of why you love MMA?
Man, I love MMA because it's so many different aspects of martial arts. I always go through kicks. Like I started as a wrestler, and then I fell in love with jiu-jitsu, and then I fell in love with Muay Thai. And it always, I always go through phases. I'll start throwing the gi on again, and just really love, jiu-jitsu and submissions and stuff. And then, I'll go out to Thailand and just fall in love with Muay Thai again, and every aspect I love. But what I love the most is putting it all together in the cage.
Nice, nice. And let's talk about the weight. Do you ever struggle with the weight cut? Are you one of those fighters that always has a rough one, or do things go pretty smooth for you? And how is it going for this camp?
It's never easy making 155, but I've gotten better and better at it. Every camp I get better at it, and honestly, I've stayed pretty light since my last fight. All summer I've been jacked and tan all summer. I can't complain. And it's just part of being a professional, and I'm learning. That you can't just blow up after every fight. After every fight, I do, like to indulge a little and eat all the food that I miss eating during camp, but just can't let it get carried away. And that's mainly what I've been doing, and which makes the weight cut easy.
Nice, nice. So it is summer right now, and everyone's out there having a good time. What's Matt Frevola been doing? What have you been doing to get out there and enjoy this beautiful weather?
Man, we were out on the boat yesterday. They had a little lighthouse festival on Long Island, and they had like a live band on the lighthouse. So all these boats were all just tied up, and it was a huge party on the water.
Nice.
It was a great time, man. All day we were out on the boat having a good time and listening to some good music, and it was awesome.
Hell yeah, it doesn't get much better than that, man. So
Nah.
it's easy to see from looking at your record that the UFC likes to put you on these big blockbuster pay-per-view cards. Does that ever add like a little bit of nervousness that you're fighting on such a big card, or is it always just you're going to step in the cage and get the job done?
No, not at all. We ask for these big cards. I want to fight on the biggest cards possible against the best opponents possible on, hopefully the pay-per-view portion. That's the next thing that I want.
Yeah.
I love fighting on these big cards because, I'm a fighter, but I'm also a fan of this sport, and I love going to fight week and seeing Style Bender walking around, seeing all these like high level fighters walking around and meeting everyone and just being a part of it. So I'm always pushing to get on the biggest cards possible.
That's right. That's right. And your last fight against Gennaro Valdez, that was a wild one. People are saying it was short, but people are saying it was one of the greatest fights we've had so far this year. I mean, it was a barn burner. You dropped him over 5 times. He gave you some good shots. I mean, describe kind of that whole fight, like where your mind was when you were in there. Did you ever get afraid that you might get put away, or did you kind of just go through the motions and just things ended out the way they did?
It, that was a huge fight for me. I had lost the last two fights, so I knew walking in that fight it was do or die for me in the UFC right there. And I think I fought that way. And I knew Gennaro was a game opponent. He's 10-0 at the time with like 9 finishes. I knew he was game, and I knew that he was going to come out to fight, and so was I. And he caught me a couple times, but there was no way I was going to be stopped that night. It didn't matter if you had Godzilla against me, walking, against me in that cage. I was coming out of that. I was coming out of that with my hand raised.
That's right. And you did. And your next fight, it's coming up here soon. Do you see it being that crazy, or in a perfect world, how does that fight play out?
I finished this guy. That's how it's gonna play out. And Ottman's again another undefeated opponent, but this guy has not fought in 2 years, and who knows? This might be his first fight fighting off PEDs.
Yeah, maybe that's what was in the bag. Who knows? So did you watch those fights Saturday, the Gain versus Tuivasa and all of those?
Yeah, I caught the main event. We were out on the boat all day, and I got back and caught the main event, which was a barn burner, man.
Yeah. What were some of your thoughts on that? It was an amazing fight.
Yeah, Gaines, like I knew that he was like so technical and such a very good kickboxer, but I knew Ty had that knockout power. At heavyweight, these guys, they really all had that knockout power. And Gain came out and like hurt him to the body. And it was a great fight. I really didn't have a horse in the race, but you gotta love Ty. I was hoping that he was gonna land that shot and drink a shoey afterwards.
Yeah.
But Gain is the real deal, man, and he proved it.
Yeah, and everyone's hyping up about John Jones coming back. I think everyone's pretty sure he's facing Stipe maybe for an interim belt or something. What's your opinion on that? Do you care about John Jones coming back, or do you think it's going to add some more spice into the heavyweight division?
Yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to it, and to seeing how John Jones looks at heavyweight. He's going to be a completely different fighter in there at heavyweight. And, I'm in for it. I want to see the John Jones experiment and see how he comes back at heavyweight.
Yeah, it's going to be extremely interesting. And now let's talk Stylebender. I'm a big fan of Stylebender myself, but he's facing a guy in Alex Pereira who he's faced before and it hasn't gone his way. Do you have a prediction on that rematch? Or actually, I think it's a trilogy fight, or it's the first one in MMA. I mean, what do you think that's going to go? What do you think it's going to look like? There's so many different speculations and theories about it.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. Pereira beat him twice, but those are both, kickboxing fights. That's different. This is a MMA fight, and Stylebender's the man. He's the champ. He's one of the best in the world for a reason. And that's what I like to see out of champions is how they come back from adversity. And knows that this guy put him away twice, so it's going to be real interesting to see how he comes out and gets it done. And I'm rooting for him because I like him a lot.
Same here. And if you were Israel Adesanya in that situation, where's your mind at? Are you thinking about those losses, or are you just focused on this is a new sport? This is mixed martial arts. I can grapple, takedowns, submissions, anything. What are your thoughts on that? What should he be looking out for? What do you think his mindset's at?
I think it's he's been in there with that guy twice, so I think that he's gonna be familiar with him a little bit. Could just having fought him twice, and having lost to him twice. So it's gonna be interesting to see what strategy he takes. You don't really think that Stylebender is gonna go out there and try to take this guy down. But
yeah,
and who knows. I think they're both high-level strikers, and they're gonna go out there and really put on a striking fight, and we'll see what happens, man. But I'm hoping Stylebender gets it done.
That's right, man. And that's all we have for you today. It's just going to be a quick one. But before we go, is there anything you want to plug in? I know you've got a clothing line or merchandise. Is there anything you'd like to plug in, shout out, any teammates, any of the Contender Series guys you've been training with?
Yeah, shout out to my whole team, Sarah Longo. We've been killing it. Iron sharpens iron. My one buddy Nazim Sodikov just got to the UFC on Contender Series, so shout him out. And then the other two guys on Contender Series, Charlie Campbell, Dennis Bazooka, you will definitely be seeing them. And then we got Aljamain coming up in Abu Dhabi in October. He's gonna get that done. And shout out Merab, just beat up Jose Aldo in a unbelievable fight. And then my boy Billy Q also just got booked as well, so I'm looking forward to helping him out for his camp. And we gotta finish this year strong.
That's right. And one last thing on Merab, there's been a lot of talk about how he doesn't want to fight Aljo. Do you think that one of those guys is going to be changing weights, or do you think that they're just going to sit back and see how it plays out, and maybe one loses the title and one tries to get it? I mean, what are your thoughts on the situation there? And do you think that he's wrong for not wanting to fight his teammate and friend?
No, not at all, man. Merab and Aljo, they fight every day in the gym. It's like we're a team here. There's enough guys for everyone to fight, and we don't fight each other. We help each other. And with that, you got to take it one fight at a time. Aljo's got TJ in Abu Dhabi. Merab just beat Jose Aldo. I'd like to see Merab fight the winner of Jan and Sean O'Malley. I think that makes sense. And then once Aljo beats TJ, I'd like to see Aljo and Cejudo. I think that'd be a great fight.
Yeah,
and then
me too.
After those two fights, and then you reassess and see where everyone's at. But no way those guys will ever fight each other. And either way, everybody's winning. Everyone's at the top, and we're doing our thing.
That's right, man. And Matthew, thank you so much for your time. We're all going to be rooting for you here, man. And I hope you have a great day.
Yeah, thanks, man. And everyone go to millions.com and get that new Team Steam shirt and be rocking that at Madison Square Garden.
That's right. All right, guys, we're out. Peace.
Make sure to subscribe to the LowKick MMA YouTube channel for all the latest news, event previews, and interviews with some of the biggest stars in MMA.